and a DHCP server. This only happens when the data center is far away from the internal network. As you can see, this server is far away from this LAN. So this LAN here, these computers in the LAN should get IP addresses from the server here. These are the steps that are used. First of all, cable and assign IP address, and I have cabled my topology here. Create the DHCP pool. Step 3, configure IP helper address on LAN interface. Then enable the DHCP client or nodes and verify network reachability. So in my section here, as you can see, this computer is receiving what we call a PIPA, automatic private IP addressing. This is a self-configured IP address on a Windows machine or on a machine if it fails to locate the DHCP server on an enterprise network. So step 1 is done. Step 2, let me create the DHCP pool. But before I discuss about creating the pool, these are the errors that are always made when configuring DHCP relay. You find this network, an engineer has configured it, but it's not working. The reason is that he has created the pool that is not suitable for this LAN on the server. So the LAN computers are struggling to locate exact subnet from the server. So for example, let me configure the pool here and show you where the error is. My computer is going to have 192.168.2.10.10. Then the subnet is that, then the gateway is that, then the DNS is going to remain the same. Then we come to this section. First of all, I turn my server on, then I'm just going to use the default pool. So this is my gateway, the IP address of the interface facing the server. Then this is the DHCP, the DNS. In my network is going to be same as the DHCP server's address. So you see, this is the error that is always done by the network engineer, so that leading to the failure of computers in the LAN getting IP address. This section, it should have the subnet of this particular LAN, not the subnet that is in the network facing the server. So let me leave it this way so that you can see what I'm trying to mean. So I have created the pool. Now let me do this. Let me on interface, no, enable config terminal hostname main router _1, then banner. I set the banner, then unauthorized access is prohibited. After their interface gigabit 0/2, the interface facing the server, you can see here gigabit 0/2. So I'm going to give it the first IP address from that subnet 192.168.2.0. so this is gonna be that one. Description, interface facing data center, IP address 255.255.255.255.0, no shutdown. So I'm done on that interface. Then write memory to save my configuration. So I'm going back to this router to configure the interface facing the LAN. So my IP helper address should be configured on interface gig 0/0. So this is it. I'm moving a bit faster. Config terminal interface gig 0/0, then IP address 192.168.1.255.255.255.0. no shutdown. We describe the interface for proper troubleshooting or easy troubleshooting. This is main interface for LAN. So after that, and then I configure IP helper address. IP helper address. Then this is the address of the server. This address 192.168.2.10. So 168.2.10. So I'm done. After having done these steps, and I enable my computers to be DHCP client, it should get IP address from the server. But check, now it's not getting, it has gotten what we call a PIP, automatic private in IP addressing. IP address. So that's the IP address that is automatically configured when the server is not gotten or is not located. Let me check this computer. It has also not gotten the IP address. It is getting a PIP. So there is a deliberate mistake that I did on the server, configuring a DHCP pool from the network that the server is lying in, unlike using the network that the LAN is using. So immediately I change this DHCP pool because the computers are broadcasting the packets to locate the server, but through the presence of the IP helper address, that is the DHCP relay agent. This router is serving as a DHCP relay agent. It is providing a tunnel or allowing those particular broadcast packets. Remember, by default, routers do not forward broadcast packets. So there is a way it is converted in order to reach the server. So the packets are moving up to this router, even passing to the server, but it finds that there is a wrong pool. So let me correct that, and that is the error that majority of the people do while configuring the DHCP relay agent. They configure the pools. So you can see, let me change this. What is the gateway for my LAN? That is 1.1. The gateway, this router interface facing the LAN. Then the DNS will remain. Then my first IP address will be 192.168.1.50. Let it start with 100. No, because my subnet has got 254. So I save. The moment I change this and I restart, I save my configuration here, right? Memory. Then I reload. I restart my router. I expect that error to have been solved. So I hope you followed very well and noticed where the majority of the errors come from. Show running config. You can see on that interface, this is the IP address, then this is my helper, IP helper address, then this is the interface facing the data center, you can see. So let me prove. I'm pinging this computer. Let's check. First of all, let me fast forward to make it work. So you see, it has gotten 101 from the exact pool. So my DHCP is working. Confirm. Check this status. DHCP request successful. Check this status. This one. It has gotten 100. Bring it static. You see, it has gotten 102. Then my printer, has gotten 101. So let me ping the DHCP server. Let me check if my LAN is communicating 103. I want it to communicate with the printer, that is 101. So I ping 192.168.1.101. You see, it's working. Let me ping the server. The server is 2.10. It's working. So thank you so much. If you feel helped in this particular lab, feel free to subscribe to Netlabs Hub, where I do this kind of troubleshooting and more of CCNA labs. Thank you.